Hi guys, welcome back to the Style Lounge. This week I thought I would talk to you about knitwear and how to select the best knitwear for your body shape and how to style it to fit and flatter your body shape as well. I asked my followers on Instagram for some ideas or suggestions for what they'd like to see from this channel, and this was something that I got asked a few times. I think knitwear is a funny one, isn't it? Because it's necessary during the winter to be warm and cosy, but not always the type of clothing that we feel like we're showing our figure off as much as we possibly could, or possibly feels particularly chic. I love to get warm and cosy in my knitwear during the winter, but I also like to give it a bit of style flair and do little different things with it. So that's what I thought I would do with today's video. The first style I wanted to talk to you about is light and loose knitwear. This is just a simple lightweight knit that I got from Zara towards the end of last year. I think it was October, November time, but they have this kind of thing in all the time in lots of different colours. So lightweight loose knits will work quite well if you have waist definition, so that you can give them a tuck. So anything that's a bit looser, if you've got waist definition, it's good to give it a bit of a tuck. I tuck this into a leather mini. I'll do a half tuck in my jeans or my skinny coated leggings, and I will wear it with a midi skirt as well that's got like quite a defined waist, and I'll tuck it into that as well. So if you have any kind of waist definitions, that would be if you're an hourglass body shape or a triangle body shape, then that will work really well. It will also work well for you if you have quite an athletic figure. So if you're more straight up and down, then going for something light and loose that you can tuck and then give a bit of a pull to works really well as well. If you don't have much definition but you're very slim, you can create the illusion of a defined waist using lighter fabrics that have a bit of fluidity on your top half. I also just wanted to take a note about this neckline. So V-necks are pretty much universally flattering, and I love them because you can accessorize them. If you don't like a low V-neck, you can pop a vest underneath, or you can just leave it as is. And then layering necklaces or putting something quite eye-catching up here draws all of the attention up. So if you like your collarbone, which I think is a really lovely part of a woman's body, then this type of neckline works really well. The other thing to note with light and loose knits like this one is if you are a triangle body shape, so that would be what some people refer to as a pear, so you're slimmer on your top half than you are on your bottom, then medium to lightweight knits are great on the top half if you can layer them as well. So maybe this with a chunkier cardigan over the top, or a jacket or something like that, or a scarf. It works really well to just balance out your proportions. So bear that in mind if you're wearing some lighter knitwear and you want to balance out your top and bottom half. Adding some layers on the top will work really well if you're a triangle body shape. If you're an inverted triangle, so that's where your shoulders are wider than your hip line, then I would keep your top half quite uncluttered. I would still wear something like this, absolutely, but I wouldn't be adding lots of layers on top. I would just keep it nice and simple. Our next knitwear is fine and fitted. So this again was bought towards the end of last year from Oasis. I really like it because of the colour blocking. I think it's really sweet to have the blue and then the browns at the bottom, some quite key colour trends for autumn winter 2018. I love this neckline. So again, I am a triangle body shape. This slash neck makes your shoulders appear wider. So if you have quite a sloped shoulder line, I can never say that, like I do, then this type of neckline works really well to kind of draw the eye across and make that appear a little bit broader. Again, if you have a wider neckline, wider shoulder line, then this neckline is probably best avoided. Go for a V or a scoop neck instead. So fine and fitted will work really well on you if you fall into the triangle body shape. Again, you can layer it, you can tuck it. If you're an inverted triangle, you could just wear it on its own. I would avoid stripes if you're an inverted triangle, or if you have a large bust, because they won't sit so well, and stripes, horizontal stripes, do add width. So this style is great if you're an inverted triangle, or if you have a straight shoulder line and full bust, but maybe go for something that's just a block colour or vertical rather than horizontal stripes. Straighter body shapes like rectangles and lean columns will also work really well with this. So if you're a rectangle, you'll have a straighter shoulder line. You won't have much waist definition, and sometimes rectangles have quite a full bust. So this kind of top that's slightly ribbed and fitted will work because it will accommodate your bust, but it's got a nice neat silhouette to it. If you're a lean column, so that's a very slim athletic body shape, then again this will work well for you too, because it's nice and neat, and you may want to add some layering and give it a tuck and things like that to create the illusion of a waist. I wanted to mention roll necks as part of this video because obviously at this time of year roll necks are around, there's lots of them. This is quite a fine knit one, obviously you can get very chunky ones as well. Just a couple of watch outs if you are planning to wear a roll neck. They don't work so well if you have a very full bust because there's just a big expanse of colour. Roll necks work better if you have a longer neck generally, so if you have a short neck, or if you're conscious of your chin area, then I would generally avoid a roll neck, whether that's a fine knit or a chunky knit. It's just something to steer clear of if those are things that you're more conscious of. If you've got a long neck and a smaller bust, then they work really well. Moving on to chunky knits. My personal favourite, I love getting cosy in a chunky knit, but let's face it, they're not generally the most flattering style that you could possibly wear. Having said that, if you have a lean column body shape, they work really well to give some shape to the top half. I would again just give them a bit of a tuck into whatever you're wearing on the bottom half. They're great for hiding a full bust if that's something you feel a bit more conscious about. But be aware, if you are full busted or have got broad shoulders, wearing heavyweight knits or anything that's very bulky on the top half will make that appear bigger. So if you want to minimise the bulk on your top half, you're better off going for a finer knit as opposed to anything too chunky. If you're going for a chunky knit, my advice would be to kind of accept the fact that it's not going to show off your body shape all that much, but if you can, give it a bit of styling. So if it's not too thick, you could give it a bit of a tuck or even just kind of tuck it under. This one, for example, which is a mango one, it does come in ever so slightly at the waist. This M&S one, which I'm sure lots of you will see, it's actually not too heavy, so I do sometimes give that a bit of a half tuck. The other thing I like to do with chunky knits on the top half is layer something underneath. I'm a big fan of the thermal. If you follow me on social media, then you will know that. A long sleeved like t-shirt or thermal or whatever you want underneath, and then roll up the sleeves. Again, it just creates some shape, it gives it some style, add a great pair of earrings or a necklace, and it goes from being something that's maybe a bit misshapen and not very stylish to actually being something that you've given a bit of thought to and created a bit of sass to, whilst also being really cosy and comfortable too. In terms of patterns, I just thought this would be a good opportunity to mention pattern as I've got the leopard print. Always wear your pattern where you want to draw attention and balance out proportions. So if you want to draw attention upwards, if you're smaller on the top half, or if you simply love your shoulder, neckline or bust area, then wear pattern on the top half. If that's not you, then just go for a block colour instead, and then maybe do some kind of pattern or detail or texture on the bottom half. Wherever you put the colour or pattern or accessories is where the eye line will be drawn when people look at you and where you'll focus on when you look in the mirror. So bear that in mind. If you want people to look at the top half, then a bright colour or a pattern is great. If you prefer to show off your bottom half, then maybe go for the leopard print trousers or skirt as opposed to the jumper. Those of you with a fuller figure or an oval body shape may find knitwear a bit more challenging. I would definitely say to avoid anything that's too heavy and thick because that's going to add bulk and it won't look particularly sleek and stylish. Go for a lighter to medium weight knit. So this Sita Mert dress, which it's one of mine, it's a couple of years old now, so it's not current I'm afraid, but it's a lovely light to medium weight knit. It's got a bit of an A-line. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but hopefully you can see. It's a bit of an A-line, so it's great for skimming the tummy area, and it's super comfortable, really soft. You could just layer something very thin underneath for extra warmth if you need it, and then pair with some tights or some very skinny jeans or leggings or something and some biker boots, and it just gives you a really cozy look that flatters your figure and just skims in all of the right places. And last but not least, my trusty coatigans. I love a coatigan on the days when it's not quite so bitterly cold. So autumn and very early spring, you'll tend to see me in something of a cocoon style coatigan. So this, again, it's not this season, guys, but you'll be able to find similar things quite easily. This is by a brand called Samso and Samso. It's a coatigan, it's cocoon shaped, so it's quite big. I will generally wear this and have something quite fitted underneath it to show my shape. So if you are wearing something like this, great if you're an oval or fuller figure because it will just hang beautifully from the shoulders. If you want to show some shape underneath it and not get completely lost, then tuck something in to a visible waistband or belt underneath this, and it will just make sure that we don't lose you in a big coatigan. The other thing you can do, which I also really like, is to belt it on the outside. So wear something quite simple and lightweight underneath, just like maybe a lightweight knit like this, for example. Or I do love a bit of tonal dressing with the green on green. That's something that you might have seen me do on my Insta stories before. So you could do that and then belt it on the outside, and it just gives it a really nice shape. So I hope that video has given you a few ideas for how you can select and style knitwear to suit your body shape for the season ahead. I would always advise, before you go out to buy new things, try shopping your wardrobe first. See what you have and see if you can style things slightly differently. Try the layering thing that I mentioned, try pushing up your sleeves, maybe giving something a half tuck, adding a belt around some of your cardigans. Just have a play around and see what you can achieve, and do let me know how you get on. If you have any questions or comments, please do drop them in the box below. I have linked anything that's current in the box as well, but if you have any questions about where you can find similar items, then please do ask and I'll be very happy to help you. All of my contact details are below too, and if you like this video, please subscribe to get notifications every Sunday when a new styling video will be going live. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!